Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. You may have seen the story. It's a shocking one. Video has been spreading online that seems to show a deeply disturbing chant breaking out on the streets of London. The claim is that this wasn't just a protest, but a call for political murder. The story goes that during tense demonstrations in London, a crowd began chanting for Tommy Robinson to be shot. The specific, chilling line they allegedly shouted was, "Shoot him in the neck like Charlie Kirk." But there's one massive, unavoidable problem with that quote. It refers to the assassination of the American commentator Charlie Kirk. The thing is, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10, 2025. The reference to his death in the chant is the core of the story. Let's be absolutely clear. In a democracy, calling for the murder of a political figure is an indefensible act that abandons democratic principles. It is incitement, plain and simple. This all reportedly happened during one of the most tense days for London in recent memory. The city saw two huge, competing demonstrations. One was a march organized by Tommy Robinson. The other was a counter-protest combined with a Pro Palestinian march marking Nakba Day. Reports claimed that around 4,000 Metropolitan Police officers were deployed specifically to keep these two groups from clashing. It was in this incredibly heated environment that the chant allegedly emerged from protesters. A line was crossed that no civilized society should ever tolerate. The principle is simple and should be universal. You do not call for the death of your political opponents. It doesn't matter who the target is. Doing so doesn't make you a freedom fighter. It makes you a threat to freedom itself by poisoning public debate and normalizing dehumanization. But as shocking as the chant is, what's almost as disturbing is the supposed silence from political leaders that followed. Where was the immediate, unified chorus of condemnation from every corner of the political world? Where were the party leaders and senior ministers stating, without reservation, that death threats have no place on Britain's streets? This is where a narrative of a double standard begins to form, eroding public trust. People are constantly told that we must confront hatred and inflammatory rhetoric. Yet, when a far-right figure like Tommy Robinson is the target, any perceived hesitation to condemn is seen as a political calculation. This selective outrage is arguably more dangerous than the chant itself, as it can send a message that the rules are different depending on your politics and that some people are less deserving of protection. This is where it gets complicated and where you come in. If you are tired of hypocrisy and believe that principles should be applied consistently, then it's vital to get the full story. Like this video, subscribe, and share it to get the word out. The mainstream often misses the nuance. We rely on your support to hold everyone to account. Leave a comment below. Have you noticed this apparent double standard in public life? While the political class is accused of selective outrage, we will practice consistency. We condemn violence and incitement. Full stop. We don't check the political affiliation of the victim before deciding whether to be outraged. A threat is a threat. An incitement to murder is an incitement to murder. This isn't about defending Tommy Robinson's politics. It's about defending the fundamental principles of a democratic society. Democracy thrives on persuasion, not threats. It requires that we see opponents as fellow citizens we disagree with, not as targets to be silenced. People have every right to march for Palestine, to march against racism, or to march against Tommy Robinson. They do not have the right to promote murder. When politicians appear to pick and choose which extremism to condemn based on political convenience, they become part of the problem. It's a cynical game that will ultimately burn down the very house they claim to lead. So, let's be clear on where we stand. The chant allegedly heard on the streets of London was vile and indefensible. But the controversy over the political reaction reveals a deeper sickness in our public culture, one where principles can seem disposable and outrage is a tool for partisan gain. If our leaders refuse to stand for a consistent principle against political violence, regardless of the target, then they are failing to lead. The question we must ask is, why?